So one of the craziest situations to occur on the Dragon Age the Veilguard subreddit actually just happened. Very weird stuff going on, and even sparking a mini civil war on the subreddit. And it all happened over this post. Veilguard is helping me to get rid of my homophobia, which accumulated over 500 upvotes on that subreddit, making it actually the 8th most upvoted post of all time over there. User Jonathan going on to say, I used to be a very homophobic person because of Grum's tweets about woke agenda. But I decided to give DA Veilguard a chance, since even though the game was attacked by woke, its combat is very good. So I bought the game and I love it. I'm having a lot of fun with the game and I love the characters. They helped me understand that there is diversity in this times, and that's fine. The complaints about female characters being ugly are not entirely true for me. I find Neve and Bellara very beautiful for me. And about the use of pronouns, well, I'm still understand how it works. The game is helping me to understand and be respectful to the LGBT people. So this instantly looks like some sort of bait post, but the OP doubled down on the responses numerous times, being like, I wouldn't make bait, I don't do that. Of course, make of it what you will. Maybe it's bait, maybe it's not. However, the majority of the responses are treating it as if it's serious. Let me know if you think it's bait and what you think of the post overall. Before we take a look at the top responses, here's some of the responses that the OP made, clarifying that it's not bait apparently. To all the people saying this is bait, no, it's not. This is serious. I want to be a good person. I want to understand all the people. And this user responds saying that they're so proud of the OP and that their post actually made them teary-eyed. I mean, I hope that's teary-eyed out of laughter, but I don't think it is. Someone said the mention of Grums makes this seem like low-quality bait. They got -3 downvotes and the OP said, it's not a bait. How many times I will say that? I don't know if this is convincing me it's not bait. I don't know, man. It's kind of making it sound like more bait, really, but we got another example. I cut that off too early. I meant to say example. Anyways, next example, yeah, says, I hope you're legit, but this feels like a troll post to me. OP says, it's not a troll post. I want the change to be a good person. And lastly, we've got this one where the OP says, my homophobia was caused for Grum's tweets about LGBT people uglifying female characters in games, like Star Wars Outlaws or Silent Hill 2 Remake. All right, so those are the posts, once again, where the OP attempted to clarify that it's not really bait. And now here are the general top responses the post got from different users. This is interesting. Please don't listen to hateful people like Grums. I don't say that because him and I have quote-unquote disagreements. I say that because he is in all of his being a hateful, cruel person. The woke agenda is a false movement that was invented by people who are fearful or disgusted by the idea that those who are different from them are simply wanting to be acknowledged and to exist in most spaces. We are not out to destroy society or culture. Accepting our existence comes at no harm to you and your kind. We mean no harm to you and your kind. That sounds like something an alien would say. Why would you phrase it like that? Being homophobic or transphobic or sexist or any kind of that nonsense is simply put silly. Me being gay doesn't hurt you. It doesn't influence your life in any way other than you having to tolerate my existence. The demand for representation shouldn't be seen as an assault on anyone. We just want to have characters and stories that we can relate to. This is a part of the representation argument that I find odd because, like, I've never related to a character because of their sexuality or their gender. To me, I find that, like, rather surface level, to be quite frank. I find a deeper meaning in relating to a character because of, as one example, like, their life experiences. That post ends by saying, I'm glad the game is starting to chip away at the walls you've built around you. Life is so much sweeter with a diverse cast of characters. I hope you continue to push beyond these restraints that have tied you to bigotry. It's heavy and leaves no room for growth. I hope you break free, and I hope you grow into something beautiful. I think it's totally cool to have a variety of different types of characters in media. The issue with these corpos that preach diversity, though, is oftentimes it comes off really fake and shoehorned in, and they write the characters terribly. For example, Tosh in Dragon Age Veilguard, although probably a lot of the people in that subreddit would disagree. Another top response reads, that was very brave of you to post this. I appreciate it. Edit, just realized this is in the Veilguard subreddit and not the disaster that is the main Dragon Age one. Thanks either way though. So yeah, this person and a bunch of people in the Dragon Age Veilguard subreddit hate the main one because they dare criticize the game, which interestingly enough has been its own situation that I talked about the other day. Because for a while, the Dragon Age subreddit, the main one, was being heavily censored by the mods, where they were like deleting the majority of the posts that were negative towards Veilguard. However, as time went on, the censorship over there began to occur less and less, either because the mods just gave up trying to censor all of the negative posts because there were more and more of them as people played the game more, or some other reason, who knows for sure. Regardless, over on the main Dragon Age subreddit, you can now find a pretty good variety of negative posts and positive posts regarding Veilguard. However, on the Dragon Age the Veilguard subreddit, they've been heavily censoring that subreddit since shortly before the game release. released and ever since its release, which is still permeating today. Basically, it's a subreddit full of shills. And so going back to this post from the person who says that Veilguard cured their homophobia, as we've been discussing, the majority of the responses are supportive of the OP, enjoying the post. However, there was actually a little civil war that occurred because it looks like there was another user, that being Queen Ashara, who was messaging people in that post, people who were like saying that it was good the OP had this growth as a person and is like a good person now. And Queen Ashara was like, it's not good enough. The OP is still a terrible person and none of you should forgive the OP. User Swinlu got this response from Queen Ashara showing the DM that reads, "You are showing your bigotry though, lol. You'd rather accept some random guy who's quote unquote now not homophobic than recognize someone who was hate crimed for their sexuality. I literally wasn't rude to begin with and acknowledge the change." So yeah, it sounds like there's a little bit of context between Queen Ashara and that Swinlu person that we're missing, but we can presume like what the discussion was about, and Queen Ashara then DMs them that. It wasn't done there though. Queen Ashara messaged another user, that being "Hi, this is Jess," saying all of this. "I'm sorry, how am I showing zero respect? I did from the start, lol, and said I acknowledged the change, and then was downvoted to oblivion for not coddling a bigot. My original comment was saying that I appreciated the change, but didn't completely forgive it. Is that wrong? Genuinely asking. Why does everyone expect LGBT people to coddle someone who was previously homophobic? I don't get that. I've received physical harm due to my sexuality, but oh, because a video game made someone not hate us, I should grovel at their feet?" Can you imagine if the OP really was posting bait this entire time and like started a civil war on that subreddit with a bait post? My gosh, that would be a successful troll. And if you're curious about the initial context that Queen Ashara had with these other people in the responses, like before Queen Ashara sent those DMs, I can't find them anymore, so it looks like presumably after getting mass downvoted by the other users, they deleted them. And once again, we do know that the majority of responses are supportive of the OP, Queen Ashara being one of the people who apparently isn't. Here's another post I want to take a look at from someone who's critical of the OP. Seemingly taking a different angle from Queen Ashara though. Let's read this. User Kijimiya says, "That must be a joke, right? Oh dear, you make up your mind because of someone's tweet on X." That of course referring to how the OP was talking about being influenced by Grum's tweets. This user going on to say, "Then you need a game to tell you that LGBTQ isn't something bad? What the heck is wrong with people? First, how about thinking for yourself, rather than to get easily influenced by people on the internet, or anywhere really? And secondly, common sense is enough to realize that of course LGBTQ isn't bad. Let people do what they want to do. Let them love or be like whatever they want to. It doesn't hurt anyone or even affect anyone's life. So hating on someone because the person, for example, is gay is just stupid. I know there are a lot of homophobic people out there, but again, that's because they are brainwashed idiots, or just project whatever they are not happy with on those people and hate them. I couldn't care less if my workmates bang other men, for example, because I'm not with them. I don't have to watch it. So sure, if you now feel better about yourself and you don't hate gay people because of this game, great, but still weird in my eyes, because it shouldn't take a game or a tweet to dictate whatever you think. Also, why I'm totally pro LGBTQ and let people live their lives like they want to. I don't agree with forced woke stuff. Keyword is quote unquote forced. It's not good. It doesn't belong here, nor does it even help the cause. People who maybe before didn't bother now feel annoyed and develop opposing views to what you tried to shove them in their face. Anyways, great game. I like it while I don't agree with everything they did in the game. I do say what I think and don't care at all if whatever I think makes people mad. Facts also don't have feelings. People get way too emotionally attached to things and as I said are also easily influenced. Some common sense wouldn't hurt for a lot of people." That user getting -3 downvotes on their post, and the OP also responded to that one saying, "The tweets I was outraged with was the quote uglification of female characters unquote. The Grum's tweets about Star Wars Outlaws ugly female. Stellar Blade is the real beautiful women, etc." Bro, what's the OP even talking about here? That's like not acknowledging anything that person really said. It's a response that's similar to the other responses the OP made, but again, it's not like acknowledging what that person was talking about in their post, which makes the OP sound like a robot or something. So yeah, I think the takeaway here is the Dragon Age Veilguard subreddit's a really weird place. I do agree with what that user Kijimiya said about the OP and like other people being too easily influenced though. Bro, why are you letting tweets that Grum's made? Like you're letting Grum's posts on Twitter, of all things, dictate how you live your life. Dude's unable to form his own opinion and take any accountability. That's pretty weird stuff. But yeah, that's the situation. Let me know what you think about that post, if you think it's bait or not. Let me know what you think about the responses and the little civil war that occurred too. And thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed my coverage, please consider liking and or subscribing to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one.